So we went from 1930 on discovering Pluto and making it a planet to, what was it, 2006? So that's 76 years. In the greatest places your mind and brain can go, what do you think we're going to discover in the next 76 that we don't know yet?
Oh yeah, that's a toughie. If the parts of astronomy that have me kind of most interested would be, and I don't know if I want to put these in a order, but I think sending people to Mars is going to be a big story and a big deal. And I think that, although unlikely, it is possible that the first human visitors there will find some fossils on Mars. We have this great history we know of how Mars was very a water world, and there's sedimentary rock on Mars. Was there life in the past? I don't know. I think it's maybe like a 5% chance, but it's still something that I think that we're going to go to Mars. There's no doubt this century somebody's going to do it. What will they find there? And if they find fossils, that's going to be awesome.
So did we come from Mars, or did somebody go from here and go there?
Yeah, I don't think we have much of a connection with Mars.
What do you think the fossils are going to be? Just some alien
form?
So
alien life forms that evolved and formed into completely separate things. But again, that's a long shot.
Yeah.
It's not a definite. But
so what else is on the list?
Europa is the mission that I'm most looking forward to, and that's coming up faster than 70 some years. But Europa is a moon of Jupiter that's icy covered, has liquid water inside of it, shoots out liquid water through the cracks, and so that could be another place life could exist underneath that ice.
And are there little alien things underneath that ice that have figured out how to live?
Alien sea creatures is not beyond the pale. I mean, anywhere we find water on Earth, we find in creatures and life. Single-celled life be the most likely, but aquatic life is definitely in the cards. So that's one of the big mysteries. And for me, Europa is a little bit more exciting than Mars. Not a place for people to go visit, but robotic spacecrafts.
Is it because there's currently water there?
Right. Yeah. So if the estimates are correct, there's more water in Europa than on Earth. So that's
because we're really a pretty small planet, aren't we?
Yeah, in the scheme of things, yeah, we're kind of small. But it's still very unique, that's for sure. So I'm trying to think of if I were to say the other big stories. Europa is going to be a future thing we're going to be looking at a lot more carefully. Mars is still going to always be in our thing. Space tourism is a interesting prospect. I don't see that as being like a real viable company or business that we have our billionaires going in space now,
but not enough wealthy people to support it. Is that
so the idea is like, okay, eventually we'll get it to the average person will be able to take a little trip up into space and back down and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I maybe I just don't have the vision for that, but or maybe I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, billionaires are going now. 20 years will be millionaires. 50 years, maybe I can afford
maybe
one.
Middle class, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So what's space considered? How far up from the Earth?
Well, that's the other thing is that it depends on who you ask. So Americans say space starts at 62 miles and change. I think it's 62 and a half. So like William Shatner went up in space. That's technically space, but he didn't go around the Earth once. So when they start sending tourists around the Earth, then I'll start to take notice. But right now it's like an up and back. I like to make the analogy of William Shatner's ride to a Cincinnati landmark here. The journeys that they're taking are 15 minutes long, so they're up and back in 15 minutes. So riding the Beast roller coaster is about 5 minutes. So they went on 3 rides of the Beast roller coaster. That's the equivalent of what they did. Great.
Right.
Sure, it would be sweet. And don't get me wrong, if they asked me to do it, I would totally do it. But they're not like breaking ground. They're not Wait, what's the line from Star Trek? Going where no one has gone before.
Yeah.
For William Shatner, like going where
Everyone.
dozens of people have gone before.
That's not very nice, Dean.
No, dozens of people have gone before 50 years earlier.
Maybe he should have followed the Buzz Lightyear approach.
Well, but again, if
Infinity and beyond.
if somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, you want a free ride up to 65 miles up and back?" Of course, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to.
I'm a scaredy cat, man.
Yeah, no, I'd totally do it. It'd be fine.
What does the space station? What orbit is that? How far up?
Yeah, so space station's up about 250 miles up, varies somewhere around in there. So it's not that high. Like it's like from here to Cleveland, basically. But yeah, straight up. And so it circles around the Earth about every 90 minutes. And yeah, the future of the space station's interesting.
It's because the Chinese, the Russian, the U.S. we're just not coordinated together. Is that because China's working on their own?
Yeah, China has their own space station, and there's a whole history behind that, which is nobody really looks good in that debate between the United States, Russia, and China over the space station. China kind of felt like they were kept out of it, and maybe rightly so. But
because it's always the Russians and Americans going up there.
Well, it was like the decision of who got to help out or who got to make the International Space Station it definitely could have been better. And the whole thing with the space station, they lost something when they it was supposed to be the big selling point for me with the space station was that it's going to be a launch pad for Mars. So like you go up there and more than half of the heavy lifting is just getting up to low Earth orbit. So you get up there, you can refuel, you can redo it, and then bang, you go out to the moon, you go out to Mars. And they never put that in there. And I don't know if it was because of budget cuts or arguments with Russia, with China, I'm not sure. But yeah, the future of the space station's interesting. I have mixed feelings about it. I think it's a good thing, but it's a limited thing.
Is it beyond its useful significance to if we learned what we're going to learn?
Yeah, I think we've learned a lot of what we're going to learn.
Yeah. Now it's time to go to the moon. Is that happening?
Yeah, I'm a little impatient with the missions, and I should be because I know how dangerous it is. But I'm ready for Mars. Going to the moon's one thing, but let's just do it. Let's just go on to Mars, and I'm willing to watch other people do it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But that might not be good enough reason. I don't know.